Hello, and welcome to Tales for Life. In each episode of this podcast, we'll explore a folk or fairy tale from a different culture or region and discover the life lessons, values, and morals they offer that we can use today. Join me on the journey through the magical and meaningful world of folk and fairy tales. Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Tales for Life, the podcast that journeys through life, one tale at a time. Thank you for being here, and if you're enjoying this podcast, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and tell your friends too. This episode features a great tale from 1800s Germany in an episode I've titled, Let Go of the Past to Get to the Future. The past has a strong hold on us. In some respects, it needs to. It's important to keep in mind where we came from, who our parents and their parents were, and to not give ourselves airs as if we're too good for anyone or anything. After all, at some point, everyone was once a commoner. But there's a catch. We also use the past as an excuse. We weren't born in the right family. We weren't born into a family with money. We had a tough childhood. We had it too easy. Whatever it is, a lot of times we use the past as a ready-made excuse for whatever we don't like about where we are today. That is, we say to ourselves, I'd be better off if my past had been different. Well, newsflash. It's the decisions you make in your present that determine where you end up in your future. For all of us. Tomorrow is not influenced by yesterday. It's influenced by today. And to make your today count, you have to put yesterday behind you where it already is. Focus on today and push forward to a better tomorrow. One of the best stories I've discovered that really helps drive this point home is a tale from Germany that illustrates the point that focusing on today is the only way to get yourself to a better tomorrow. It's titled, The King's Trophy. Ages ago, there was a king in Thüringen. One day while hunting, his hounds jumped around a tree in a thicket and could not be held back. He had one of his servants climb up the tree trunk, which was hollow, to see what was inside, causing his pack to bark. A small wild man was inside, and the king's men fetched him out. The king was delighted with this trophy and had him sit next to himself in the coach. He forthwith called an end to the hunt. He named the captured wild man Noah and confined him in a crypt. The king himself waited on him and cared for him. One time when the king had to be away, his son George was playing ball in the castle, and the ball fell down through a hole in the crypt. The little prince called down, "Wild man Noah, give me back my ball." The wild man answered, "I cannot give you your ball. If I were to throw it out, it would fly so far that you would never find it. Instead, go into your father's chamber, fetch the key, and open the door for me. Then I will give you your ball." The prince fetched the key from his father's chamber, for without the key no one could open the crypt. He opened the crypt, and the wild man came out, gave him his ball, and said, "In my need you have helped me, and if you are ever in need, just go into the woods and call for me, and I will help you as well." Soon afterward, the king returned home, and his first step was to look after his trophy. How alarmed he was to discover that the crypt was empty, and he immediately suspected that it was his son who had freed the wild man. He summoned him and asked, "George, did you take the key, open the crypt, and let the wild man Noah out?" The little prince honestly confessed to what he had done. The king at once disowned his prince, for his trophy was dearer to him than anything else. The prince sadly left his father's house and wandered aimlessly about in poverty until finally he came upon a shepherd. The shepherd suspected at once that the lad was not from a lower class and took him in. He taught him what he needed to know to help with the herd. George, the sheepherder, came to know a beautiful girl, and as he was now coming of age, he asked her to marry him. At that time, a terrible beast called a lindorm had taken over the region. It demanded a human sacrifice every year. According to ancient belief, this beast was a magical curse. If it did not receive its sacrifice, it roared like a thunderstorm, threatening to destroy everything in the land. The time came when the people were called together to draw lots determining who would be the lindorm's next sacrifice. Sheepherder George's bride-to-be drew the losing lot. He remembered what the wild man had promised him. He stepped forward and asked that the sacrifice be delayed, for he intended to kill the lindorm. He quickly ran into the woods and called on Wild Man Noah for help and support. The wild man appeared before him and gave him a white horse and a sword, then told him to put on a white robe, mount the white horse, point his sword forward, and charge against the monster. The monster would hungrily open wide its jaws, and George could penetrate its throat with his sword. And so it happened. Thus, George's bride, as well as the entire land, were freed from the monster. The people cheered with joy. Happiness ruled throughout the land, and George was dubbed a knight. Everyone now wanted to know more about George's origins. He confessed that he was the king's son and related how he had become a sheepherder. He was told that his father had died so he could return home safely and assume rule over the kingdom. Thus, a king's son became a sheepherder, the sheepherder became a knight, and the knight became a king. The King's Trophy leaves us with a lot to think about. George's journey reminds us that the choices we make today ripple into tomorrow. When he freed the wild man to get back his ball, he lost his kingdom. Justice may have been on his side, but justice alone couldn't change his reality. And George understood that. He didn't waste his life arguing with his past. He turned instead to the present, to what he could do now. That's our second lesson. Moving forward means working with the tools we have today. George became a sheepherder. Not glamorous, not princely, but it was honest work. And it was enough to build a new life, even to find love. He didn't let yesterday's loss steal tomorrow's hope. But here's the most important lesson. Not focusing on yesterday doesn't mean forgetting it. The past carries wisdom. When George needed help, he remembered Noah, the wild man he had freed, and that memory changed everything. Our past, like Noah, is always with us. We don't have to dwell on it, but when the moment comes, recalling what we've learned can make all the difference. So as we step forward into this new year, let's carry George's lessons with us. Make choices today that honor the future you want. Work with what's in front of you, even if it's not the role you imagined. And don't discard yesterday. Let it be a teacher, a companion, a stepping stone, a source of strength when you need it most. The King's Trophy reminds us that life isn't about perfect paths, but about persistence, wisdom, hope, and a better tomorrow. As we continue on into this new year, may you find all of those on your path. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Tales for Life.